When the universe chooses you, the enemy declares war. The distractions you're facing aren't random. The confusion being stirred isn't just chaos for its own sake. It's all intentional, because they're scared. Deep down, they sense that something massive is headed your way. They feel it in your energy before it even materializes in the physical world. That's why the noise is louder, the illusions more intense, and the tension more persistent. They know what's coming for you, and they're scrambling to throw you off before it arrives. But here's the unshakable truth. It won't work. They cannot stop what's already written in divine ink. Before we go further, like this message and subscribe. Because if this is reaching you now, it's not by accident. The universe wants your focus back. Every interaction, your likes, your comments, your engagement, tells the algorithm the truth still matters more than illusion. So if you've been feeling attacked lately by distractions, delays, or emotional turmoil, drop the number 88 in the comments. That unrest you feel, that disturbance in your peace and clarity, it's not just struggle, it's a signal. A breakthrough is near, and the enemy knows it. You can feel it, can't you? That inner pressure building, a strange mix of tension and anticipation. It's the weight of something divine, something real, approaching fast. You were selected for a purpose that most people can't comprehend. And because they don't understand it, they fear it. And out of fear, they try to sabotage it. This isn't paranoia, it's spiritual warfare. And the battlefield is your mind, your time, your focus. They're not trying to destroy you outright. They're trying to distract you just enough that you miss the moment. The blessing that has your name on it isn't far away. It's already en route. That's why the chaos is intensifying. The only tactic left is to shake your energy, twist your priorities, and flood your space with confusion, so that when destiny knocks, you're too drained to answer. But hear this clearly. You are not ordinary. The power inside you cannot be duplicated, borrowed, or stolen. It was placed there by divine design. That's why they watch you. That's why they try to imitate you, but never quite measure up. That's why some show up with smiles but carry hidden daggers in their energy. Your light exposes every hidden lie. Your presence dismantles every fake structure they rely on for their false sense of power. You don't need to speak loudly to be heard. Your energy announces you long before you say a word. You've been under attack not because you're weak, but because you're too powerful to ignore. They see what's written in your energy field, and it terrifies them. They'd rather you doubt your purpose than walk boldly in it. They'd rather you chase the noise than align with the truth. Because when a chosen one fully awakens, when you finally lock into your calling, everything changes. Their control crumbles. Their illusions collapse. And that delayed blessing? It floods in with a force they can't stop. So no, you're not crazy. No, you're not imagining things. And no, you're definitely not alone. You've been marked by the universe and your destiny is protected. But the closer it gets, the harder they'll try to shake you. Don't fall for the bait. Don't get tangled in drama, emotional traps, or fake emergencies designed to drain you. This is the final push, the last attempt before your shift. You've been chosen, and that truth haunts them. If the attacks have been increasing, if fake friends, sudden confusion, and perfectly timed chaos have been showing up like a pattern, you already know the reason. It's not a coincidence. It's a spiritual strategy meant to delay your rise. But they've already failed. You're still standing. You're still clear. You're still aware. So let the universe know you're locked back in. Drop the number 88 in the comments and realign with your mission. Quick pause, family. If this message is resonating with your soul and you'd love to support this sacred work, feel free to buy me a coffee. It helps keep this space alive with truth, light, and divine clarity. The link is in the description below. Now let's keep going. They're trying to silence the voice that was meant to awaken nations. But here's the next step. Let's go deeper. If you're truly chosen, you'll feel the pull to stay. The more they try to distract you, the more the universe is calling you to double down. Focus is your superpower. Now let's break this down step by step and tap into the clarity that only the chosen can carry. Number 1, they plot when the universe prepares. Every time the universe aligns something powerful on your path, the enemy begins. To panic like a coward hidden in the dark. They don't move until divine energy begins to shift. They don't strike until heaven initiates something for your elevation. The moment the universe starts organizing blessings in your favor, that's when the enemy scrambles to organize their attacks. They can sense the change before even you do. While you're still second-guessing yourself, wondering if you're just imagining a shift in the atmosphere, they're already building distractions, creating chaos, and laying spiritual traps, hoping to throw you off before you rise. That's how deeply your power rattles them. Let's be clear, they don't waste energy on people going nowhere. They don't plot against the average. They only react when a chosen one is nearing divine alignment. And right now, that chosen one is you. If you've been feeling the weight of confusion, the sting of random attacks from every direction, it's not coincidence, it's confirmation. Something massive is being arranged in your favor. And because they can't stop what's coming, they try to stop you from being ready for it. This is why the warfare intensifies before your biggest breakthroughs. It's why betrayal appears suddenly, why the people closest to you start acting strange, and why structures you thought were solid begin to shake. That's not chaos. That's precision. That's strategy. They need you distracted right as the door begins to open, because they know what you're about to walk into, and it terrifies them. When the universe chooses you, it doesn't come with flashing lights or loud announcements, but the energy changes, and those who feed off of darkness, they feel it immediately. Your presence begins to disturb rooms you once blended into. Your silence becomes threatening. Your very existence becomes a mirror, reflecting back to others all the truth they've been hiding from. And that's when the plots begin. Not because you've done something wrong, but because your light exposes the lies they depend on. So they come cloaked as friends, but their energy speaks like saboteurs. They create emotional chaos to drain you. They trigger old wounds to resurrect an outdated version of you, hoping to pull you back into loops you've already outgrown. They don't need to destroy your body. They just want control over your mind. Because if they can make you believe the lie before the blessing arrives, they can stop you from ever claiming what's already yours. This isn't just opposition, it's orchestration. The enemy doesn't guess. They study. They examine your routines, your habits, your pain points, and build custom sabotage using that data. Think about it. Is it really coincidence that you get hit the hardest the moment you commit to changing your life? Was it random that your deepest betrayal came just after you walked away from what was draining you? That was timed. That was planned. And more importantly, it's proof. Proof that your alignment is dangerous to the systems that profit off confusion. Look at history. Every powerful figure had to face the plot before the platform. They didn't wait until Jesus started preaching. They came for him the moment he was born. Malcolm X wasn't a threat when he was lost. They came after him when he found purpose. Martin Luther King Jr. was left alone until he began shaking systems. The plot always begins when your power becomes visible, and your power becomes visible the moment you begin aligning with the truth of who you are. That's exactly where you are right now, on the verge of visibility, on the edge of a shift so big it makes your enemies restless. They can feel it in their spirit before you even realize it. That's why you've been under fire. That's why it's been hard to focus, why confusion, frustration, and isolation have become your uninvited companions. They're not attacking the version of you that exists today. They're attacking the version that's about to be revealed. And you may be wondering, why me? Because you were built for this. The universe doesn't apply this kind of pressure to someone who isn't carrying something generational. You weren't chosen to blend in. You were chosen to disrupt, to shift the atmosphere, to awaken others just by walking in your truth. And that kind of presence always attracts resistance. Maybe you've also asked, if I'm chosen, why is this so hard? That's the deception. That's the illusion they push to make you turn around. Because the closer you get to what's yours, the more it feels like everything is falling apart. But pressure doesn't mean something's wrong. Pressure means it's arriving. The blessing is no longer coming. It's here. They just want you so consumed with what's collapsing that you miss what's being constructed for you on the other side. You are not under attack because you're weak. You are under attack because you carry something the world desperately needs, and the enemy knows it. Your clarity, your purpose, your evolution. It's a direct threat to systems built on fear, lies, and distraction. You walking in truth is their downfall. That's why they plot, not to win, but to delay. If they can't stop the blessing, they hope they can wear you down enough that you walk away before you receive it. Their entire game hinges on your exhaustion, your doubt, your willingness to fold before the shift completes. But here's the truth. They've already lost. The only way they win is if you give up. But you're not who you used to be, and they know it. So what's your move now? Do you fold under the pressure, or do you see it as confirmation? Do you let the chaos derail you, or do you recommit to your clarity? This is your proving ground. This is your spiritual test. Will you choose alignment over anxiety, purpose over pity, truth over the lie you've already outgrown, the old you? Now the universe is ready to reveal the real you, the version the world has been waiting for. And once that version steps forward, nothing can pull you back. The distractions won't work. The emotional bait won't stick. Because a chosen one in alignment with divine purpose, that's a force no enemy survives. So remember this. They only plot when the universe prepares. The pressure you feel is not a sign that things are going wrong. It's confirmation that everything is about to go right. Let them panic. Let them whisper. Let them try. Just don't let them distract you. Your blessing is already on its way. All that's left is for you to stay ready to receive it. Number 2, they can't touch what they don't understand. You are the encrypted code that their systems were never built to decode. Let's get one thing straight. What you carry does not fit their blueprint. The power inside you doesn't stem from titles, credentials, approval, or societal systems. It originates from a sacred place they'll never access. And that's exactly why you confuse them. That's why they copy your moves and still fall short. That's why they try to provoke, sabotage, or drain you. Not because you're weak, but because you're a walking glitch in a system programmed to control everyone but you. You were never meant to be understood by those who only function in the physical. Your energy operates on a higher frequency. It speaks in vibrations, not in empty words. Your presence alone is disruptive. It shifts the atmosphere the moment you walk in. People feel the weight of your soul before you even speak. And that tension you sense from strangers, that subtle unease around your silence or calm demeanor, that's because your essence threatens the illusions they cling to. You are the encrypted signal in a world addicted to noise. And since they can't decode you, their instinct is to dismantle you. But what they'll never grasp is that you can't mimic what was divinely coded. They can study your steps, steal your style, and imitate your outer confidence. But they'll always fall short. Why? Because what you carry is internal. It's spiritual, it's sacred, and it's aligned with truth. It's not something you learn to perform, it's something you are. And that kind of authenticity cannot be faked, bought, or duplicated. It's what makes them obsessed with you. It's why they talk about you behind closed doors. It's why they plot confusion and conflict, not to win, but to distract you. Your peace is disruptive. Your clarity is their chaos. And your focus, that's what keeps them up at night. You walking in alignment terrifies those trying to keep control. Not because they want to understand, but because they want to contain. And what they can't understand, they try to control. Ever wonder why some of the attacks you face are so subtle? Why it's rarely a direct blow, but instead a sarcastic remark disguised as a joke? A sudden shift in someone's energy? Or a moment that just doesn't feel right? That's not paranoia, that's a pattern. They're poking, testing, pressing emotional buttons, searching for your breaking point. But what they don't realize is you were forged in fire. You didn't learn resilience in times of peace. You learned it through betrayal, through disappointment, through standing firm when no one else had your back. So no, they can't touch you. Not because they won't try, but because you're spiritually protected by a force they can't comprehend. Your path is encrypted in a language only the universe fully understands. That's why it doesn't make sense to them how you're still standing. That's why they're shocked when you bounce back stronger after every hit. You are the blueprint they never had access to, and it shows. Think about it. Every true disruptor was misunderstood. Nikola Tesla's genius was so advanced that society couldn't grasp it, so they tried to erase him. Prince didn't just play music. He became a vibration that refused to conform, and they called him weird. Serena Williams didn't just dominate her sport. She did it in a system that wasn't made for her. And instead of praising her greatness, they tried to dismantle her spirit. Every chosen one has felt this disconnect, not because they weren't brilliant, but because their brilliance didn't beg for permission. That's where you are. That's who you are. Whether you've realized it fully or not, you've always been different. Your ideas are ahead of your time, your energy unmatched, your vision threatening to those who still live by illusion. That's why people try to box you in, make you question yourself, water you down. Because if you ever fully stepped into who you are, their entire system would break. And so, when they can't figure you out, they default to labeling. You're too intense, too sensitive, too much. They try to weaponize your uniqueness. They toss confusion at your clarity and whisper that fitting in is safer than standing out. But don't fall for it. You weren't made to be predictable. You were made to be the glitch in their matrix. You weren't sent here to be understood by everyone. You were sent here to awaken the few who can recognize your frequency and rise with you. You're not here to prove yourself to people who don't even know who they are. You're here to disrupt, to realign, to remind the world that true power doesn't bow to fear. It rises above it. So the next time the enemy shows up confused, threatened, or obsessed, don't shrink, expand. Let their confusion be your confirmation. Let their reaction remind you that you're walking in something real. The blessing that they can't see, it's already vibrating toward you. And they still don't understand it because they were never meant to. You were encrypted by the universe with a purpose that no weapon can decode. And no matter how hard they try, they can't touch what they don't understand. Number 3, distraction is the new weapon of mass deception. They don't need to destroy you. They just need to distract you. If they can confuse your mind and scatter your focus, your purpose stays inactive. No chains, no cages, just constant noise. In a world addicted to attention, stillness is now rebellion. Silence is strategy. Because the moment you quiet the chaos, you hear your calling again. That's what they fear most, your alignment. So they flood your life with drama disguised as connection, chaos dressed as entertainment, and people who drain more than they give. Algorithms target your wounds. And while you scroll through others' lives, your own destiny waits. Distraction isn't always digital. It's emotional too. Fake friends, recycled relationships, arguments that lead nowhere. All perfectly timed to knock you off track, right when you start rising. Not by accident, by design. Because if you're busy reacting, you're not building. If you're chasing closure, you're not chasing purpose. Chosen one, ask yourself, how much have you lost to meaningless battles this year? How many moments have you wasted replaying conversations that drained your spirit? Your power isn't gone, it's buried beneath the noise. And if you stay distracted, you'll miss the blessing that's already en route. Now is the time to reclaim your focus. Guard it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Not every voice deserves your energy. Not every crisis deserves your attention. You were born to build, lead, and awaken. But you can't do any of that if you're stuck in loops designed to delay your greatness. So shut down the noise. Get still. Refocus. Because now that you see the game, they can't win. And the moment you take your focus back, everything begins to move. Number 4, energy leeches are sent to drain you, not to love you. Some people enter your life looking like blessings, but they're actually distractions disguised as gifts. They don't come to pour into you. They come to drink from your light like it's an endless fountain. Let's make this clear. Not everyone in your life was sent by divine assignment. Some showed up with deceptive intentions, masked by charm and false connection. They mirror your energy just enough to earn your trust, say all the right things, and wrap themselves in the illusion of support. But the moment you let them in, the draining begins. Suddenly, your peace becomes unstable. Your clarity gets foggy, and your motivation starts disappearing. Yet there's no big betrayal, no dramatic fallout, just slow erosion. One emotional withdrawal after another until you barely recognize yourself. That's how spiritual leeches operate. They don't announce themselves. they attach in silence. And by the time you notice, they've already been feeding off your energy for weeks, months, maybe even years. Have you ever woken up exhausted after a full night's sleep? Left a conversation feeling confused, disoriented, or emotionally empty? Poured your time, encouragement, presence, and love into someone, only to walk away feeling like the one who gave everything but got nothing back? That's not weakness. That's not you being overly sensitive. That's spiritual theft in real time. When you are chosen, your light holds value, even for people who don't respect it. You radiate a frequency that disrupts stagnation and heals the broken. But here's the hard truth. Not everyone wants to be healed. Some people just want access. They want a sip of your peace, your confidence, your stability, not to become better, but to survive one more day on borrowed energy. And the most dangerous part? Some of them don't even know they're doing it. They've become so spiritually bankrupt that your energy becomes their lifeline, their drug. But others, oh, they know exactly what they're doing. They study your light and treat it like a resource to be mined. They call when they need clarity, lean on you when they're lost, and use your presence like a battery charger, then vanish the moment they feel full again. You're not crazy for noticing this. You're not selfish for setting boundaries. You're not heartless for pulling away. You're finally protecting what they were hoping you'd keep giving away for free. You were never meant to be someone's endless power source. You're not a spiritual vending machine for people too lazy to do their own healing. Yet society, trauma, and even your own compassion have conditioned you to believe that constant availability equals love, that always giving makes you a good person. But that lie, it's killing your alignment. The truth is, you cannot pour forever from a cup that never gets filled. You're not here to be everyone's emotional lifeline. You're here to walk in purpose and clarity and strength. And that requires energy. That demands focus. That requires you to be whole. And if every connection around you is pulling from you, draining you, interrupting your growth, how can you ever rise into the destiny that's already been aligned for you? That's the enemy's strategy. Surround the chosen one with constant emotional debt so that their divine timeline stays delayed. It's not a coincidence that the moment you start building momentum, someone in your life suddenly needs more from you. That every time you gain clarity, an energy vampire appears with a crisis. That when you finally feel grounded, someone accuses you of changing because you stop being their emotional sponge. That's not misfortune. That's sabotage disguised as responsibility. Pay attention to the pattern. You're not being dramatic. You're being harvested. Your exhaustion isn't just physical, it's spiritual. It's what happens when you carry sacred light and don't guard it. The truth is, people learn how to treat your energy by watching how you treat it. If you keep showing up at your own expense, they'll keep expecting it. If you allow access without discernment, they'll keep leeching. If you keep calling it love when it's really manipulation, you'll stay trapped in cycles that were never meant to grow you, only to drain you. But that cycle ends now, because awareness is the beginning of liberation. The moment you see the drain, you can cut the cord. And when you do, you'll feel your spirit begin to recharge. Your thoughts will return. Your peace will anchor itself back into your body like it never left. That's not selfish. That's spiritual hygiene. From this moment forward, protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Not everyone should have access to you. Not everyone deserves your presence, your advice, your emotional labor. Everyone should not be able to call you, text you, lean on you whenever they feel like it. That's not love. That's leeching. And as a chosen one, you must protect the current you carry. Because the blessing that's on the way, it requires all of you. Not the drained version, not the distracted one, and not the broken shell that leeches left behind. It requires the whole, aligned, focused version of you. And if that means saying no more often, pulling back from one-sided connections, or cutting ties that were only meant to control you, so be it. You weren't sent here to be depleted. You were sent to disrupt, to elevate, to lead. And it all begins with protecting the very thing they came to steal, your light. Number 5. You were born bright, so they try to blind you. Your light was placed in you by the universe. not earned or handed down by people. And from the moment you arrived, it's been shining in ways they couldn't understand. You didn't have to try to stand out. You just did. And that's exactly why they've tried to dim you ever since. Light doesn't just illuminate, it exposes. And when your presence reveals what others try to hide, don't expect applause. Expect resistance, expect silence, shade, passive aggression, and weird energy from people who once claimed to care. They don't come at you because you're wrong. They come because you're real. Your light disrupts their illusions. Your confidence makes their insecurities uncomfortable. Every time you rise, they feel exposed. And when they can't control you, they try to confuse you, throwing shade, sarcasm, and subtle jabs, hoping you'll question your worth. But they missed one truth. Your glow isn't built on approval. It's built on alignment. You shine because you've survived, because you've healed, because you stopped dimming yourself to fit their comfort zones. And now that you've stepped into your power, the old emotional games no longer work. You're no longer relatable to dysfunction. Your peace isn't something they can feed on. And that shift, it's spiritual. Your presence now feels like pressure to those avoiding their inner work. So they react, not because you're too much, but because you reflect too clearly. But don't dim for them. Don't shrink to keep the peace. Real peace doesn't require your suppression. Remember, history never applauded the brightest ones at first. They were misunderstood, mocked, attacked, but they kept shining, and so will you. Let them talk. Let them twist. Your light isn't here to be liked. It's here to be undeniable. You weren't sent here to shrink. You were built to blaze. And no matter how much shade they throw, they can't touch what was born radiant. Keep glowing. Keep standing. Because only those who can stand the heat of your brilliance deserve to walk with you. Number 6, stop saying you're alone and you're set apart. There's a difference. Eagles don't fly in flocks. They soar solo. Not because they're abandoned, but because most wings can't handle their altitude. You're not in isolation because the universe forgot you. You're alone because you're being prepared for a level others aren't built to reach. This season isn't punishment, it's positioning. Stop mourning what left. The universe removed what couldn't go where you're headed. You weren't rejected. You were reserved. Many of those exits weren't losses. They were protection. You've been filtered, not forgotten. Chosen ones often mistake silence for suffering because they've been taught that constant noise means support. But real power is forged in solitude. Diamonds aren't made in crowds. Vision doesn't come through chaos. What you're calling loneliness is divine construction. Stop fighting this season. Stop scrolling through it. Use it. Let it refine you. This is where the warrior sharpens, where the visionary listens, where the leader is formed. You're not alone. You've outgrown your old environment. If you misuse this season, you'll repeat it. You'll run back to draining people and familiar dysfunctions just to feel connected. But connection without alignment is a trap. This is your time to master solitude, protect your energy, and strengthen your spirit. Because when you rise, and you will, they'll wonder where you came from. And your answer will be simple. I came from the silence. I wasn't alone. I was being set apart. Number 7, they feared you before you even knew your own power. They didn't wait until you were successful. They came early, sensing something divine in you long before you could name it. From childhood, the strange jealousy, betrayals, and rejection weren't coincidence. They were recognition. You were targeted, not cursed. Your energy, even undeveloped, made people uncomfortable. They tried to break you before you could awaken, feeding you trauma, doubt, and confusion. But what they didn't expect was your survival. You endured, and now you're awakening. And that's their real fear. Because once a chosen one stops questioning their worth and starts walking in their truth, everything shifts. You stop shrinking, stop apologizing, and start owning what the universe already declared over your life. And that's when the enemy truly loses. Number 8, when they can't steal your blessing, they'll try to make you walk away from it. The tactic? Quiet doubt. They whisper lies like, I'm not ready, or what if I fail? Not to fight you, but to stall you. If they can turn your mind against you, they win without lifting a hand. That voice of fear isn't wisdom, it's interference. Their strategy is always the same: strike just before your breakthrough. But here's the truth. Your belief in yourself is your greatest weapon. Confidence is the access code. When you stop second guessing and start standing firm, every trap collapses. The blessing is still yours. Just don't give it away by hesitating. Now you see it clearly. The distractions, betrayals, and doubt were never random. It was war, and they lost because you're still here, still glowing, still chosen. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm, to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small, whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share. Your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time.